when your pathetic tin cans are no match for my army.
Another glorious day in this man's army.
The citizens of this town have nothing to fear. The Mechanist is here to protect them.
Ha! We'll see about that. Attack my ant soldiers. Destroy this fool and his tin toys.
Go forth, my steadfast citizens. Show these
Please
vermin
take cover,
humanity's
citizen.
true
Peace is
power.
being restored.
Face it, Mechanist. Humans and their toys are done for. They killed themselves off with their petty wars.
Humans may be weak sometimes, but our creations are strong and pure. Something you'll never be.
Are you all right? You aren't hurt, are you? I'd like to apologize for the rude welcome. Those two have been a bit of a problem lately. Name's Rowe. Uncle Rowe to most. Welcome to Canterbury Commons. For what that's worth. The, Mechanist and the Ant Agonizer. That's just what they call themselves. It's ridiculous, I know. A while ago, we were attacked by the Ant Agonizer, that woman with the ants, obviously. The Mechanist saved the town with his robots. Well, that was all well and good, but I swear their fights are getting bigger, and it's been driving off the merchants. They simply won't leave.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a piss.
Oh, that's terrific. I knew you'd help out. Knew it in my gut, and it's never steered me wrong on a deal yet. Find where the Ant Agonizer and the Mechanist hide and convince them to stop or otherwise end their hostility, and you'll earn 200 caps. You only need to stop one of them, really. Nowadays, I think they only stay in Canterbury to fight each other. You drive a hard bargain, friend. But seeing how we haven't been able to solve the problem ourselves, fine. You've got a deal. But I expect results. Oh, and please do try to use some discretion. We already have plenty of would-be heroes starting wars in our streets. We don't need another. You can usually find one of the trade caravans at the entrance to town. They come through every day or two. Other than them, Porter's always got food for sale down at the diner. If it'll help, I'm glad to. And one day there was a crazy woman leading a bunch of ants into town. She said humanity was dead and the ants would inherit the earth, stuff like that. Well, that gave Dom plenty of time to line up a shot or two on the ants. She ran away, but every once in a while she'd stage an attack again. She wasn't much of a threat then. In fact, she was sort of entertaining at first. Gave everyone in town something to talk about. But when the mechanists started fighting her, things got bad. Ants are easy to shoot, but add robots with lasers, it got real nasty. The mechanist used to be our town mechanic, Scott Walensky. Quiet guy, but plenty fierce with a wrench and some solder. Guy used to take care of a robot that protected the town until it got torn up in one of the Ant Agonizer's lame little attacks. I guess he took it personal because he made a mechanical suit and called himself the Mechanist, said he would lead a robot army to fight her. Now he doesn't even respond to his name, and his robot army is more dangerous to the town than the ants ever were. My nephew Derek might know more about them. I swear it's all I can do to keep him from running into the fight whenever they come out. He might know more about where you can find them, but don't encourage the poor boy. He's had enough close calls. I most
Not while the world is protected by me, the Mechanist! Your reign of terror is at an end!
Can't talk now, citizen. I must be leaving.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy? Fine. Hi. Whatever. I'm Machete, and I've got better things to do than talk with you. Scram. I know Dom doesn't want me just killing them. He and the Mechanist used to be friends or something. All I know is, next time they come to town, I bet I could solve the whole problem with one bullet for each of them. Good guess. I was the toughest defender they ever saw in Lamplight. I earned my nickname fighting off a mole rat with a knife as big as my arm. When I left, I figured I'd pass on a cushy place like Big Town. I ended up here. Dom took me on as a guard. And that's that. This whole place would fall apart if it weren't for Dom and me keeping anyone from causing too much trouble. Fat old Roe may think he runs the place, but it's only because Dom lets the idiot.
Be safe. Can't talk now, citizen. I must be leaving. Be safe.
Hey there. Don't even think of breaking into that.
Hi. How are you today? Oh man, did you see it? Did you see it? The antagonizer was all like, "Fear me!" But the mechanist was all, "Stop, evildoer!" The antagonizer, she's this evil supervillain who's trying to wipe out humans with her ants. And the mechanist protects us with his robots. And when they fight in town, it's incredible! There's all these lasers and biting and blood, and it's crazy! And then my uncle says I need to stay inside. He says it's dangerous. This is serious business, Derek. You think they're neat too, huh? It's not like they ever hurt anyone. Well, not like really badly hurt or anything. Dom and Machete make sure that everyone gets inside when they fight like that. Though sometimes I sneak out to watch. The traders and the slavers and the raiders, they don't like the antagonizer or the mechanist. They say they're bad for business. But that's dumb. The ants and the robots rip them to shreds. That shows them. You mean the superheroes? Yeah, I'll try to watch all of their fights. That's easy. The Antagonizer's suit makes her super agile, but I guess her ants are pretty weak on their own. Just watch out for her royal guard. The Mechanist robots are a lot tougher, and his suit makes him super smart. I don't think he has any weaknesses. Well, maybe one. Since he's a good guy, he's not as ruthless as the Antagonizer. Like, he'd never hurt an innocent like me, if he could help it. I don't know much about her except she really, really doesn't like people. That's kinda cool. I mean, sometimes people are jerks. I think her lair is somewhere in the caves to the north of the city. I've seen her ants down there once in a while. Joe Porter said he found out something about her, but my uncle won't let him tell me. He says don't encourage the poor boy. I knew the Mechanist back when he was just a normal hero. He used to be called Scott. Then he fixed up stuff around town. But one day, the Antagonizer killed his favorite robot, and I told him he ought to fight back against her like a real superhero. Ever since then, he's been up on his forge and the back of the robot shop on the hill, working to protect us all from the Antagonizer. No way! Don't stop it. Unless maybe you're going to be a superhero too. You could be called Super Humongous and fight them with an army of super mutants. Hey.
Yes?
Hey there! Newcomer to town, huh? Well, I'm Dominic Delasadro, and welcome to Canterbury Commons. Try to ignore the idiots in the costumes. Popular activities around town are trading, listening to row yap, and burying thieves in unmarked graves. Of course, we ran out of thieves to bury long ago. Saw to it myself. Might be a dead art, unless you're planning on stealing anything. Sure, you do that. We can take turns shooting each other. Teams are the whole damned town versus your face. Our team's got a winning record. Now, if we're done with this little pissing contest, I've got to get back to work. But I can tell we're just going to be best friends forever. Staying out of trouble? Good. Bro hired you to put a stop to their shit, did he? Guess he finally listened when I told him I haven't got the time to do it myself. It's easy enough to hide inside when those two square off, but they're only getting worse about it all. I don't know who she is other than a crazy with an ant suit and a chip on her shoulder for humanity. She wasn't much trouble by herself, really. Her attacks were a joke, but at least stories of her kept some of the raiders at bay. If it helps, she was always attacking from the warrens up north. Maybe you can find her ant nest in there. You mean Scott Walensky? I refuse to call him by that ridiculous name just because his head got a screw loose. He used to be a damn good friend, and not just because he fixed my guns up. Now he spends all his time up in that bot shop, just thinking about fighting that ant agonizer. Hardly even recognizes his own name anymore. If you could just make either one of them stop fighting, it'd do the trick. You probably wouldn't have to worry about the other one. I can't imagine Scott attacking the town with his robots, and that ant agonizer girl was never much more than a sideshow freak by herself. Ro may prefer that you're thorough, but all I care about is that you get the job done, one way or the other.
How's it going? Just stumbled into town? You sure picked a fine day for it, with the crazies out there. Here, have a drink on the house. Welcome to Canterbury. I'm Joe Porter. I make sure folks around here can get a meal when they need it. We do our best. Well, Dom and Ro do their best. I just make sure they've got enough food so they can keep on doing their best. You ever find yourself starving around here, drop by Dot's Diner. We don't charge much, but don't expect any more freebies. You mean apart from having cheesy names? Actually, I think I might know something useful. One of the traders told me she sounded like a girl he used to know. Girl's whole family was wiped out by ants. not long before she showed up here. But they never found any trace of her body. Said her name was Tanya Kristoff. That might just be our little antagonizer.
So at last, you've penetrated the court of the antagonizer, queen of all ants. Were you sent by that meddling mechanist? He'll learn that no one can stand before my royal regimen of fighting ants. Explain yourself. Why shouldn't I have my pretties kill you where you stand? Ha ha! You would walk here and presume to command me? Humanity's time has come to an end. Your kind died because it knew only petty bickering and wars.
But not so, the noble ant. It works with its brethren, knowing only loyalty and duty. And this is why they have grown, while humanity crumbled.
Once I've finished with that pathetic mechanist, I will be free to spread my colonies across the wastes. You're wrong. Humans are cruel, hurtful beasts. They can't be saved. We can't be. I can't go back. But I can't keep doing this. I can't be as bad as they were. Not if someone like you believes in me. Please, I think I've made some terrible mistakes. If you really think I still have a chance, just let me go. I'll give you the suit. No one ever has to see the antagonizer again. Just please, let me have another chance. Thank you. I don't know how I can just thank you. Please, just leave me alone. I want to leave all this behind me.
With all of that fighting, I never did get to give you the official welcome to the town, did I? Welcome to Canterbury Commons, home of traders, caravanners, and most of all of excellent bargains. Here for business or pleasure? In that case, I'm sure you'll find it was Providence. Why? Excellent! Without her, the Mechanist should be on his way, and Canterbury Commons is safe again. Relatively speaking, of course. Now, I do believe this is our agreed-upon payment for your fine services rendered. Thank you once again. Bye.
Any luck finding those two troublemakers yet? What's up?